Sooner or later, everyone working close to President Donald Trump learns an unspoken rule inside his circle: no one should appear bigger than the president himself. That lesson became clear again on Thursday when Trump announced that Kristi Noem would no longer serve as the public face of his administration's immigration crackdown. Noem, who has been leading the United States Department of Homeland Security, will step aside at the end of the month. Trump said she will be replaced by Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, although his appointment must still be approved by the United States Senate. According to Trump, Noem will instead take on a new diplomatic role as a special envoy for a security initiative in the Western Hemisphere known as the Shield of the Americas. "I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland," Trump wrote in a post on the social platform Truth Social. Her removal marks the end of a turbulent period leading the department responsible for implementing Trump's aggressive immigration strategy. When Noem stepped into the role after Trump returned to the White House last year, she quickly became one of the administration's most visible figures. She often joined immigration enforcement raids in person, frequently appearing in a bulletproof vest beside federal agents during operations. Noem strongly supported Trump's mass deportation efforts and championed policies aimed at effectively shutting down the U.S.-Mexico border. She also took the message internationally, even visiting a maximum security prison in El Salvador that houses migrants deported from the United States. However, her hands-on approach quickly sparked controversy. Typically, Homeland Security secretaries avoid direct participation in field operations. Critics argued that Noem's presence during raids looked more like a publicity effort designed to strengthen her reputation as a tough immigration enforcer. The criticism intensified when she was photographed wearing a $50,000 Rolex watch during a visit to the notorious Shakeup prison in El Salvador. She also appeared riding a horse in a government advertising campaign urging undocumented migrants to leave the country. Opponents on the political left began mocking her with the nickname Icy Barbie. Meanwhile, Democrats in Congress criticized her for spending about $220 million in federal funds on a promotional campaign featuring herself and nearly $200 million on 2 luxury aircraft for official travel. Noem defended those expenditures during a hearing on Capitol Hill earlier this week, saying that Trump had been aware of the campaign. But on Thursday, Trump appeared to contradict that claim. Speaking to reporters at Reuters, he said he had no prior knowledge of the costly advertising effort. "I never knew anything about it," he said. Behind the scenes, tensions were also growing. According to a report from CBS News, Trump had a heated phone conversation earlier this week with Noem's advisor Corey Lewandowski after her congressional testimony. Lewandowski is also expected to leave the department. Reports suggest Trump even consulted Republican lawmakers about whether Noem should be removed, indicating that he was already considering changes within his immigration leadership team. Some Republicans quickly supported the idea. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said it was time for a change, while Representative Dan Newhouse of Washington argued that new leadership at the Department of Homeland Security had been overdue. Frustration with Noem had been building for months. The administration faced serious criticism in January following a controversial immigration operation in Minneapolis in which federal agents shot and killed 2 American citizens. In response to the backlash, Trump sent White House border advisor Tom Homan to Minneapolis to manage the situation, eventually scaling back the operation. Many observers saw Homan's appointment as a clear signal that Noem's authority was being reduced. Her comments after the deaths also drew scrutiny. Noem claimed, without presenting evidence, that one of the victims had committed an act of domestic terrorism before being shot. The decision to send Homan to Minnesota showed that Trump was beginning to sideline Noem after previously allowing her to take center stage in immigration enforcement. It also hinted that the administration recognized growing public concern over some of the tougher tactics used in immigration operations. Polling data suggests that while many Americans support parts of Trump's immigration agenda, fewer approve of the aggressive enforcement methods used by some federal agents. That political reality could become especially important as the country moves closer to another election cycle. Noem's removal therefore appears to reflect Trump's effort to adjust course and limit potential political damage. Her departure also represents the first major cabinet-level shakeup during Trump's second term. During his first presidency, Trump frequently replaced senior officials, including his national security advisor and White House chief of staff, often announcing the changes through social media. Those frequent staff changes often overshadowed policy decisions. In contrast, his second administration has largely avoided that level of internal drama, until now. Whether Noem's departure signals further changes within the administration remains uncertain. It is also unclear if the leadership change will bring a different policy direction at the Department of Homeland Security. Mullin, Trump's expected replacement, is a strong conservative ally who has long supported strict immigration enforcement. After the Minneapolis shooting incident, he defended federal officers, calling them patriots who were facing threats simply for doing their jobs. He has also criticized Democrats during recent disputes over funding for the Department of Homeland Security, particularly during debates about reforms to immigration enforcement policies. In an ironic moment, Noem was delivering a speech when Trump posted the message announcing her replacement online. Shortly afterward, she shared her own message on social media thanking the president and expressing support for her new assignment. Noem may be the first high-profile casualty of Trump's second term in office, but her reassignment suggests that the president remains willing to act quickly when political pressures begin to shift.